Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to yet another supremely amazing and a brand new chapter Locomotion and Movement. And today we will be discussing on the very first topic, that is Introduction to the Human Muscular System, lecture number 1. I hope you all can hear me. I hope you all can hear me. Am I audible to each one of you? Yes? Audio, video, everything clear for everybody? Give me hearts on the screen. Yes, thank you so much. So today for Neet 2021, Neet 2022 batch, we are starting with a brand new chapter, that is a locomotion and movement. And today's lecture is all about introduction to human muscular system. The lecture was scheduled to be at 10 a.m. but due to some technical glitches, it has been postponed to 10:30. So this is our wonderful Telegram group. So join at Biopoint New is our Telegram group, which is a small family where we would be conducting regular polls, quizzes, OMR examinations. Okay, and updates of all our classes everything will be informed in our Telegram group. Those who are brand new to our channel, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave the comment in our wonderful channel of Biopoint Stream. Beginning with this chapter, Locomotion and Movement. So after this lecture, you will be having a small quiz. Yes, Elsa. Good morning. Guys, in the yesterday's class, I think in the yesterday's class I told you that I won't be taking the initial part, but if I doesn't take those initial parts for you, it will create some amount of or some bit of a confusion in your mind regarding this chapter. So I decided to take it in a very fast mode, but the way exactly you will understand. Okay, so beginning with the chapter Locomotion and Movement. Can anybody explain or tell me in a sentence the definition or the difference between locomotion and movement? Locomotion and movement in your own words, you can explain. Yes. Don't copy the definition on the screen or the slide. Just tell what's your basic idea about the term locomotion and what do you mean by movement. Fast on the chat box. Give you 10 seconds to answer this. Fast. We have a lot of portion to discuss in today's class. No one knows the answer for the question? Yes, anyone? Guys, difference between locomotion and movement. Locomotion means it results in changing in the location of a particular person. That is, we move from one place to another. That is actually locomotion. Movement means if we sitting waving our hands is an example for a movement. Stretching our legs is an example for movement. Yes, Shivani, locomotion is the displacement of the body from one place to another, that is resulting in the change of position. Whereas movement means just changing the particular muscles of our hand and we are or leg or whatever, and we are just due to certain muscular activity we are showing the movement. Okay. So actually, can I ask you a question right now? In case of plants, in case of plants, what can you say actually? Does the plant, whether the plant undergoes locomotion or movement? We definitely, when we are taught, we will be telling you that plants is not capable of movement. Does the plants are not capable of movement? Does the plants are not capable of movement? The fluttering of the leaf, growing of the stem, all these are examples of certain movement. The touch me not, movement of the leaf. So all these are examples of movement, but they cannot locomote. They cannot undergo locomotion, that is, they cannot go from one place to another. Okay. So, locomotion is the voluntary movement resulting in a change in the location. Change in the location is referred to as the locomotion. And yes, everybody is telling the answer. Calvin, Shraddha, Elsa, Shivani. Where is Nila? All locomotions. This statement is a previous year NEET MCQ. This is a previous year NEET MCQ. All locomotions are movement, but all movement are not locomotion. Waving our hand is not locomotion, but it is a kind of a movement. Moving from one place to another, it is a locomotion. So hence it is always a movement. Okay, muscular activity occurring there. Okay. So all locomotions have movement, but all movements are not locomotion. Assertion, reason, question. Yes. Next, going into details of this chapter, what is locomotion? And we studied locomotion is the movement from one place to another. There is a shift in the apparent position. So locomotion and movement are interlinked together. Locomotion and movement are interlinked together. For example, in paramecium, which is a protista, cilia helps in the movement. What is the structure that helps in the movement in case of paramecium? Cilia helps in the movement of paramecium to capture food, and it helps in the locomotion. Next is the hydra. In case of hydra uses the tentacles to capture the food and for locomotion. Then limbs, in case of human beings, mammals, they use limbs, that is hands and the leg, to change their body postures and used for locomotion. So these are some of the examples of these are some of the examples of locomotion. That is, paramecium uses cilia for locomotion, hydra uses tentacles for locomotion, mammals use limbs for locomotion. Among this, paramecium is a previous year MCQ question. Previous year MCQ question. Guys, in case of paramecium, which is a slipper skull or slipper shaped organism, all over their body is covered with the cilia. All around their body is covered with cilia. In case of hydra, you have the tentacles, which helps in the locomotion. Okay. And in case of human beings and mammals, you can have the limbs, which helps in the movement. Next is, we are going to study about different kinds of movement in case of human beings. Yes, can we start out with the topic? Can we start out with the topic? Today's topics is really easy topic. We are not going into details of this chapter today. Going only through the surface of this chapter today. Yes, thank you so much. So first type of movement that we are going to study is the amoeboid movement. What is amoeboid movement? Amoeba shows locomotion or movement with the help of what? Amoeba moves with the help of false feet or pseudopodia. What do you mean by pseudo? Pseudo means false. When you studied the animal kingdom, you studied pseudocoelom. Right, when you studied animal kingdom, you studied there about a structure called pseudocoelom. Can anyone tell me in which phylum? In which phylum you will observe this pseudocoelom? Which phylum is pseudocoelomate? Just comment me on the chat box, I'll read it out. So amoeba shows exactly their movement with the help of pseudopodia or false feet for capturing your food. Exactly like that, exactly like how the amoeba moves, there are certain cells inside our body also which shows the same kind of amoeboid movement. That is with the help of pseudopodia. How is pseudopodia formed? Very important MCQ for your exam. Very important MCQ. Pseudopodia is formed by the streaming of protoplasm. Pseudopodia is formed by the streaming of protoplasm. Very important. Yes, Nila, absolutely. Very good. What about Shraddha, Shivani, Elsa, and yes, everybody is coming. Thank you so much, guys. Nematode or ash helminthus or roundworm shows pseudocoelom. They do not have a true coelom. Okay, so this you have to study. This Elsa also commented. So with the help of pseudopodia, you will have the streaming of the protoplasm. So pseudopodia is formed how? Pseudopodia is formed by the streaming movement of the protoplasm. Then the cytoskeletal elements like the microfilaments also help for this. This about the microfilaments and the cytoskeleton structures you will study in the chapter Cell, the Unit of Life. So the examples of the cell that shows amoeboid movement is the macrophages and the leukocyte. Leukocyte and macrophages are the type of cells that shows amoeboid movement, which is a previous year MCQ. Next is ciliary movement. Ciliary movement, the term suggests that the organism move with the help of cilia, exactly in case of paramecium. So inside our body, cilia is present inside the trachea. In the chapter Structural Organization in Animals, you studied ciliary epithelium found in. Where are ciliary epithelium found? In the fallopian tube and inside the bronchioles. Bronchioles and fallopian tube. If you remember this particular location of ciliary movement, give me thumbs up on the chat box right now. Let me know, have you forgot about that chapter or not? Ciliary epithelium found in fallopian tube and trachea, bronchiole. Yes? Okay, so I hope you all have remembered or recalled all those points now into your mind. So cilia in the trachea, which is to remove the foreign particle, and the oviduct for the passage of ova. So this is the location, which is again a previous year MCQ. Guys, don't leave the class after this. You will be having a quiz. Okay, quiz here itself. Quiz over here itself. So third type is the muscular movement. The term muscular movement suggests that movement with the help of muscles. For example, movement of the limbs, movement of the tongue, jaw, etc. are with the help of muscles. So it is referred to as the muscular movement. Clear, everybody? Yes? Thank you so much. Going into detail of everything, amoeboid movement moves with the help of pseudopodia formed by the streaming of the protoplasm. Guys, it is by the streaming of the protoplasm. What is protoplasm? Protoplasm is the physical basis of life. Protoplasm is the physical basis of life. So protoplasm, it is not, the options may contain streaming of cytoplasm, streaming of nucleus, streaming of protoplast, or like that. The option is streaming of protoplasm. Okay, examples for such kinds of cell is macrophages and leukocytes. Yes, absolutely, Shraddha. Cytoplasm plus all the other cell organelles present in the cytoplasm together, you will call it as the protoplasm. Guys, in case of amoeba, you have seen they extend their pseudopodia to capture their food. Yes, so this is the extending pseudopodium. Clear, everybody? That is all about the amoeboid movement. You have to study how the pseudopodia is formed by the streaming of the protoplasm and the amoeboid movement shown by macrophages and leukocytes. Next is ciliary movement. Ciliary movement is found in the trachea and the oviduct. You studied about these two things. Look, guys, this is the ciliated epithelium. This is the cilia. Yes, this is the cilia. Guys, look at here. What is written over here? Goblet cells. Goblet. Goblet cells. Can any one of you comment me on the chat box? What is the function of goblet cells? What is the function of goblet cells? Anybody in the class? Anybody in the class can comment for this. Anybody, those who know the answer for the question. Function of goblet cells. Neet 2020 paper, it contains a question based on goblet cells. I'm asking about the function of goblet cells. What is the main function of goblet cells and what do they secrete? Yes, yes, Shraddha, it secretes mucus. It secretes mucus. Okay, everybody, yes. Guys, it is mucus, mucus. Okay, so this is a ciliary movement. It helps in the clearing of the foreign particle. Look, this is how the fallopian tube contains cilia because the ovum is non-motile. Because the ovum or the egg is non-motile structure, right? Yes, Calvin, are you here? Next is the muscular movement. Muscular movement takes place with the help of muscles. And what happens? Movement of limbs, tongue, jaw, etc. are examples of muscular movement. Then other certain types of movement in case of human, that is the flagellar movement. Flagellar movement is shown by sperms. Sperms helps in the swimming. The flagella of the sperm, which acts as a tail, shows the flagellar movement, which helps in the swimming of spermatozoa. Okay. Maintenance of water. Flagellar movement helps in the maintenance of water current in the canal system of sponges. Locomotion of protozoans like euglena. So all these takes place with the help of flagella. Since we are dealing with the human physiology, you have to study flagellar movement shown by sperm. Clear? Give me hearts on the screen, on the chat box, everybody. Give me hearts on the screen, everybody. Yes. Thank you so much. So can we move with this brand new and the topic which is included in the CBSE syllabus this year? But most probably the earlier session was easy, right? Tell me. All the other cells, it's easy to remember. Amoeboid movement, macrophages, then ciliary movement in trachea, bronchiole, muscular movement shown by the muscles. Yes, it was so easy, right? Next is we are moving on with the major topic of this chapter, that is the human muscular system. Okay, so starting with this chapter, everybody. With all your permission, beginning with the chapter muscular system. Muscular system includes muscles. Muscular system includes muscles which are mesodermal in origin. So very important MCQ. Very important MCQ. Muscles are mesodermal in origin. Muscle constitute nearly 40 to 50% of the total body weight. Previous year MCQ. So 2 MCQs I have told. Then they will be asking which of the following are related to the muscles property. So muscles have the property of excitability. They have the property of contractibility. They have the property of extensibility and also elasticity. Previous year MCQ for your exam. So single slide, 3 different kinds of MCQ. Got it? Got it, everybody? Muscles, mesodermal in origin, constitute 40 to 50% of the total body weight, have the property of excitability, contractibility, extensibility, and elasticity. Yes? Thank you so much. Take care. Next slide. The types of muscle. This you have studied in the chapter structural organization in animals. Have you been taught this topic? about the skeletal muscles, visceral muscles, and the cardiac muscles in the chapter structural organization in animals. A bit information, I hope it has been shared to you. Yes, so we have to study a bit more about it because we have to study all the different properties. Guys, actually muscle, the topic is really easy, except the muscle contraction technique, except the muscle contraction part. All the other areas are really easy in case of the muscle. But muscle contraction is also really easy, but you will get confused about the proteins which helps in the muscle contraction. But if when we enter into skeletal system, nothing is there in my hand. The only thing that I can do is I could pronounce each name of our bone. About the 206 bones present in our body, I could pronounce the names for you. The thing is that you have to by heart it. I can tell the name, I can state whether it is located. That's the thing that I can do. Okay, we don't have to study the entire bone system, but there are certain bone name which we have to study. Okay, I'll make a flowchart definitely for that and I will send you definitely. Okay, I hope you all are prepared for today's exam. Work hard on that chapter, especially concentrate on the pulse, the diagram, then about the double circulation, about the three different kinds of blood cells, along with the lifespan, count, disease, everything related to it. Then look about the disorders of the cardiac system. Okay, these all are the major areas. Okay, so moving on with this chapter, topic muscular system. So based on the location, there are three different kinds of muscle. Okay, skeletal muscles, striated muscles, and voluntary muscles. Okay, skeletal muscles, that is striated. Based on the location, muscles are of three different types. That is skeletal muscles or striated muscles or voluntary muscles. What do you mean by voluntary muscles? Yes, on the chat box. What do you mean by the term voluntary? What do you mean by the term voluntary? Yes, voluntary. Skeletal muscles are voluntary in nature. Simply the meaning of the term voluntary. No one? Guys, voluntary muscles. Voluntary means it is under the control of our will. That is, we will decide whether to move that. We will decide whether to stop that. Okay. Stretch our hand. It is a voluntary muscles are present. Yes, which we can control. Yes, that is under our control. Yes, absolutely, guys. So that is the skeletal muscles and they show certain type of striations. Look, they show certain types of striation. Yes. If we draw it like this, they will show certain type of striation. That is why they are referred to as the striated muscles. They are associated with the skeletal system, so they are called the skeletal muscles. Since they are not under the control of our will, they are called the voluntary muscles. Next is the visceral muscles. Visceral means what? Internal organ. Visceral means what? Associated with the internal organ. Non-striated muscle means they don't have any striations. Actually, the shape of like this. This is the shape of striated muscle. What non-striated muscle having a nucleus. Okay, this is the shape. They are smooth muscles because they don't have any striations. and they are involuntary. They are involuntary. That is a major property. Involuntary in nature. That is, they are not under the control of our will. Next is the cardiac cycle. Cardiac cycle is similar. It is involuntary in nature, associated with the heart muscle. Cardiac muscle. Okay. Cardiac muscles are associated with the heart and they are striated muscles. The property that the most important property that they show is striated. They are striated. Okay. So we are going to discuss in detail about each things. Are you all there in the class? Are you all there in the class? Thank you so much. So skeletal muscles or striated muscles or voluntary muscles, that is, they are attached to the skeleton. Study each and every point. Each and every point. Each point you have to study by heart. Statement based question will be definite question for your NEET exam. Striations are present. They are attached to the skeleton. Their striations are present. They are voluntary in nature. They had a rich blood supply. They get fatigue. They get fatigue after work. That is why we feel pain in our hand. If we walk for a long distance, we feel pain in our legs because of their fatigue muscles. So muscle fiber is multinucleate. What do you mean by multinucleate? More than one nucleus is present. That is syncytium. Syncytium means more than. There is no separation and more than one nuclei is present. Look, in one particular striation itself, more than one nuclei is present. Yes. And the skeletal muscles or the striated muscles have more mitochondria. So these are some of the important points related with the skeletal muscles or the striated muscles. Next one is the visceral muscle. Next one is the visceral muscles. Visceral muscles. They are associated with the visceral organ, that is the internal organ. Guys, in which part you will find the highest contractive or the where the smooth muscles is so important for its function? It is found in case of the uterus. The smooth muscles is very functional in case of uterus. Especially smooth muscles are very important in the uterus, endometrial lining, in the pregnant ladies. So the visceral organ, the visceral muscles are associated with the visceral organ. The striations are absent. They are involuntary in nature. They are non-fatigue. They do not get fatigue after work. I told you they are uninucleated condition with the help of diagram I shown to you, and they have less mitochondria. These are the main characteristics of visceral muscles or the smooth muscles. Next is the cardiac muscle. They are found only in the walls of the heart. Striations are present, but they are involuntary. They show the property of striated muscles, that is, they are striated, but they are involuntary in nature. They have a rich blood supply. They are non-fatigue. If the heart muscles get fatigue, what happens? The death of the person is a definite. They are also uninucleated in condition and more mitochondria is present. And one of the most important property of the cardiac muscle is that they show intercalated disc. That is, even though this is happening like this, we will have a tendency that the entire portion is also occupied by another striated cardiac muscle. So they are interconnected towards each other. Okay, that is actually if you draw a muscle like this, actually another set of muscle will also be like this. Okay, we will mistakenly we will just think that these all are the different kinds of muscle. Okay, this kind of That is, this is one muscle, this is another muscle, this is another, like this. Uninucleated condition. So that is intercalated disc, which is at least 20-25 times 20-25 times repeated MCQ question for your exam. Okay, clear everybody? Yes. All of you take a screenshot for this. All of you take a screenshot, and I want everybody to take a white sheet of a paper along with your color pens or whatever. And then you have to make a table like this, and you have to copy down this and paste it in your NCRT today itself. Done? Because definitely this will help you. Clear? Use color papers or color pens or whatever, sketch pens or whatever, and make this chart wonderful and paste it in your NCRT. Clear? Today itself, everybody. Guys, those who are not having a what new NCRT, that is a new edition of your NCRT, try to buy. Try to buy from your nearby bookshop. Try to buy a new NCRT. Okay, my repeater batch student, I hope if your NCRT textbooks is completely marked, I think most of you have your biology NCRT completely written, marked up with the pen, written the important points in compared with your physics and chemistry. Am I right? Yes? Because bio, everybody will read NCRT because it doesn't makes one bored. Right? Right, everybody? So if you can, 2020 repeating students can also buy out a new NCRT textbook itself. Okay, it would be better if you buy a fresh books and underline each and every point starting from the beginning, so you can read it once again, the entire textbooks. Yes, this is what we will be discussing in the next class about the structure of striated muscles. About the structure of striated muscles is what the topic we are going to discuss in the next class. Are you all here? Are you all here, guys? Have you understood the topics taught today? Have you all understood the topic that is taught today about the human muscular system? Tomorrow we will be learning about the structure of striated muscles. Yes? So ready for a supremely amazing quiz? Ready for a supremely amazing quiz, guys, everybody? It's a quiz time. Are you all ready for the quiz? Yes. So each question will display on your screens and will get you 15 seconds only for answering. Just comment me. They will not, you have to just comment me whether the answer is option A, B, C, or D. Okay. Done, everybody. Give me hearts on the screen, and in 5 seconds, we are moving on to the quiz. 5, 4, starting in 3, starting in 2, starting in 1, and first question, and 15 seconds on your screens right now. Amoeboid movement in macrophages and WBCs are affected by cilia, flagella, pseudocele, pseudopodia. Amoeboid movement in macrophages are affected by cilia, flagella, pseudopodia, and pseudocele. Let's see what is the correct answer for the question. The correct answer for the question is option number D, pseudopodia. This is a question which we discussed in our class today, right? Amoeboid movement shown with the help of pseudopodia. Easy question. Yes, one thumbs up on the chat box. And those who haven't liked the session, one like on the screens right now. Yes, everybody. Thank you so much. Second question, 15 seconds on your screens right now. Pseudopodia is formed by shrinkage of the protoplast, streaming of the protoplasm, change in the osmotic pressure, shrinkage of the nucleus. Question we discussed in the class. Yes, direct question. Let's see what is the correct answer for the question. And the correct answer for the question is option number B, streaming of the protoplast. This is a question which we discussed today in today's lecture. Can we move on to the third question of the day? Can we move on to the third question of the day? Yes, everybody. All of you are giving correct answers. Shraddha, Shivani, Nila, Elsa, everybody. Third question on your screens in 15 seconds. Your answers. Longest smooth muscles are. Longest smooth muscles are present in intestine, stomach, uterus, urinary bladder. Intestine, stomach, uterus, urinary bladder. Yes. Let's see the correct answer for the question, and it is uterus in case of a pregnant woman. Clear? Clear with today's topic. I hope today's classes was outstanding and you all got the point. I just conducted the quiz at the last in order to make you clear with the topic. Yes, everybody. Okay. So the question for today is also you can score. Yesterday, Shivani and Shraddha scored. Okay. So Shivani and Shraddha scored 120 on 120 for the last Super 30 exam. This time I expect more students to score full marks for the exam. Will you all work hard for that and try to score 120 on 120 for today's exam? Everybody? Yes? Yes? So Nila, you are in the second position. You were in the 10th position for the first exam, then came into 7th, and now 4th, and for the last Super 30 revision, you came into second position. So don't try to lose that second place. Okay. Once you maintain, go to upwards or stream or aim for high. Don't let your marks go down. This is my advice to each one of you. Okay, Shivani and Shraddha are the toppers for the last two exams for the NEET mock test. Super 30 revision also, they were the toppers, sharing the toppers with a high score. Yes, so go like that till the end. Definitely God will be with us. This is the thing which I'll be telling for each and every time. So thank you guys. See you in the next class. Bye bye. So bye bye guys. Take care. See you all in the next class.